but there is one person in there that the most prettiest hat. So can we get a drum roll on the tables? Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It goes to number 20!
About going to a tea party, not actually a tea party. It was a fashion show. Whoever wins, I don't know what they get. So let's go to Della Park.
Why we wear pink? Pink for what?
It's because
what?
Breast
cancer month, right?
Yeah, so we all have to wear pink.
A few moments later.
Here. Thank you.
Gary.
Let's go to the fashion show.
Go.
I'm ready.
Hi.
Wait, Rain, do you have a loose tooth?
Yes.
This one. Can I see it? Oh.
Look at these pretty girls. Huh? Let's go. Go, Rain.
I have a hat under a hat. We're about to explore. I'm gonna go show you the stage. Let's go.
This one?
Here's the stage. No, stop filming. We're not. Oh, she's videoing. She's videoing. Oh, it's for my YouTube channel. Wait, do slow motion. It'll be really fun. Okay, what about one? No, it's not slow motion. Please, no, fine. No, I'll ask my mom, okay? First, I have to do a video, please.
Breast Cancer Society and the Cancer Support Group. Welcome to our 4th annual painting party. So we're going to be starting shortly. We're waiting for the rest of the chorale to arrive. But I do want to announce and share with you all who our host will be for tonight. And it's none other than our Miss Marshall Islands representing Wudarak, Miss Wudarak, Lonia Kaiko. Can we give her a round of applause? Ella Jun, welcome.
It's happening from my shoe.
First of all, I want to take this time and thank our Heavenly Father for tonight. I want to also recognize all of our distinguished guests and every one of you for gracing us with your presence. First of all, my name is Lonia Kaipo, commonly known as Ms. Budara, and I will be your MCOs for tonight. Before we start out with our program, may I call upon the family chorale to please come up and do the opening prayers. Secretary of Health and Human Resources, to please deliver us the welcoming remarks.
Kamal, MC Lonia. I got here at 4 o'clock and Lonia and I were the only two people here, so we should probably get an extra bottle of body oil for that. I know that Jibun Mijakara. Agamanda mo Tokara Papa and Anja Okay, Moda Janaba Jabar, they can Kamolo Rani's Canadian. Kamolo on his skin, mode and edge mode, and Electara around again, and damaging Kamolo on his skin. Ainamango, Jidoido, Majuro. And I'm kidding, Kautage, Honorable Senator Hilda Heine, Honorable Mayor Marie Milne. And I'd just like to say, a friend of mine, I hadn't heard from him in 40 years, high school friend of mine. And he said to me, "Wow, you're living in the Marshall Islands. What's it like living so far away from civilization?" And I said, "Well, we've already had a woman president. Guns are illegal. We have universal health care. We've never had COVID. So what's your definition of civilization?" he didn't have much of a response. I'd also like to take some time to really thank the diplomatic corps, the ambassador from the US, the ambassador from Australia. I don't see anyone from Taiwan or Japan, but there's a reason why we're standing here today and we don't have masks on and we're not worried about who's in the hospital and who's not and how we deal with sick COVID patients. It's been a year and 8 or 9 months now that we've been through this pandemic, but the people in the Marshall Islands, because of a lot of help from a lot of people, our own people, but also outside people getting us testing, especially the US with the testing and the PPEs, and now we have 3 different kinds of vaccines. We really we're in debt to these people for helping us and really being good diplomatic partners to us. I'd like to give them a big round of applause for that. I'd also like to kilian kautejin komolo with me and the cancer survivors and all the people that put this event together. I can tell you, there's not too much of a greater honor than for me to be able to stand here and talk to people in this room who have shown so much courage. I know many of these are cancer survivors here. And to me, one of the greatest human qualities people can have is courage. And there's so many people here today I know personally who have fought off cancer and are still standing today. And we owe them our respect and their families too, because it's a really scary thing when people are told initially that they have cancer and they have to go through this. So I know personally my sister died, as I've said this before, but my sister died about 11 years ago from cancer, and my wife's mother also died of cancer. So all of us here in the Marshall Islands, we all have our cancer stories from our families, and we've all personally experienced it. And it's a really hard thing to go through for all of us. So this event is really special and really important, and I really appreciate it. But there are some interesting things that have happened over the past year and a half that hopefully someday will greatly impact our fight against this disease. Right now, one of the bigger problems we have around the world is that because of COVID, cancer patients have really taken a big hit because these hospitals are so crowded with COVID patients that cancer patients have had to wait sometimes, and it's gotten quite serious. There's a really good article I read the other day about this really big issue. And even for us here in the Marshalls, to send someone off island, we used to be able to just get someone to the Philippines in no time at all, or Taiwan or the US. And now that's not the case anymore. When we send people to the US and Hawaii, it's really not good for us because it's very expensive and there's so much time between appointments. Philippines now, we have to get visas first, so it takes almost a month before we can get somebody there. In Taiwan, there's 2 weeks of quarantine you have to go through, even if you're a patient. So it's really impacted our ability to deal with our own cancer patients. And so that's a really big problem. But on the other hand, there's been some really big advances in science and the science of cancer. This wasn't for cancer, but just this past week, they discovered a vaccine for malaria, which is a huge thing, and especially for a lot of these young kids in these disadvantaged countries that really face that horrible disease. But as far as cancer goes, the mRNA vaccines that are used, it's Pfizer vaccine and Moderna vaccine, the same technology is now being used to find cures for cancer. And it's not just like a theory or anything. They're actually making great strides. And there's articles almost every day about the strides they're making in this. And I'm really hopeful that at some point, maybe we can defeat this thing with the same technology that they've used for the COVID vaccine. So that's a hopeful thing. And I think one thing that everyone who's dealt with cancer and their families has experienced is that drive and that struggle to maintain, like on these bracelets, it's hope and faith and strength. It's not easy, and we all know that. So the idea that there are still some hopeful things out there for us, I think is really good. And I'd also, before I finish my remarks today, I'd just like to once again thank everybody who organized this. This is a great event, and it gets more and more powerful each year, which is a really good thing, and it's important for us. And lastly, I'd like to thank Fanny for doing such a great song and a good prayer for us today. The biggest thing we all have faced when we face cancer is pray, 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 constantly praying. And I really appreciate the idea that Fanny was able to come here and do that prayer for us today. So with that, I thank you all very much. Deeply, deeply honored that I can stand here yet again. A year ago, I did the same thing. This Apple Watch gives these heart warnings when your heart beats too fast. I think it's gone off 4 times since I walked up here. But I really appreciate this. It's a great, great honor that you allowed me and chose me to speak today. So thank you all very much, and from all honest people.
Thank you, Jack, for your welcoming remark. Now we have come to the best part of the evening. We are about to eat. So if I may have and grace us with the presentation on the power of test. May we give him a round of applause?
Thank you, MC. Yagwe. Good evening.
Good evening.
Since I see some non-martialists amongst us, please allow me to speak for 10 minutes using English, just so we're all on the same page. My name is Holden. I am under Ministry of Health, Division of Human Services. I am the psychiatrist for the ministry. Yeah, I can see some people in the back, not even oncologists. What is he doing here? The other day, I got an email that I'm invited to talk at a breast cancer tea party. I responded to the email, who is making the invitation? Because if people are going for a party, nobody wants to hear doctors. Even sick people don't want to hear them talk long. But I was excited to come because every year, the Ministry of Health, the Cancer Society, the rest of the ministry do their part in talking about breast cancer, but we've been given an opportunity today to look at the missing aspect of impact of breast cancer on health, the mental health aspect of it. So please be with me for the next few minutes as I talk a little about mental health, mental wellness. You know, I am not an oncologist and I'm not a woman. So generally I don't have the right to talk about the breast or the cancer. But in 2011, that was the first time I made it to the United States. See, I was a doctor in FSM and my mother got sick a little. And then we sent her off to Hawaii and it made a diagnosis of breast cancer. But they said it was advanced breast cancer. So she moved from FSM to California. And then sometime in 2011, they called me up to say that on one of her follow-up after chemotherapy and radiotherapy combined, they called and said that their scans couldn't find the cancers anymore. So I asked the hospital to let me fly to Sacramento just because I didn't believe in that kind of update report. And I went to Sacramento to meet with their doctor, and that was the case. They couldn't find any piece of the cancer after 1 year and a half. But at the beginning, we were told differently. Now, just like any other non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, The body is actually controlled by all these chemicals in the head. And when we hear the word cancer, we're already filled with a lot of chemicals released for anxiety, for fear, for depression. The Secretary talked about all the technology, all the advancements in screenings, in medication, in treatments, in surgeries for cancer. But one piece of it is left behind. There's no progress in the mental wellness of patients of cancer or the family who are also impacted by the cancer of these people. But I'm very happy today because we don't need specialists to come and tell us how to move forward with the mental wellness of our loved ones with cancer or the families of them. The way forward with mental wellness is what's happening here. That support, that energy, that hope. So we're not going to be asking for a number of counselors or psychologists or some other special oncologists to come and work with us, help us with cancer. We alone on this side, when we start to unite and teach people, more people will do the screening. When people feel positive about it, their immune systems can fight longer. When you have a positive emotion, you have more immune system and more power to move forward. Yeah? Secretary said that he was nervous when he got up. That is what mental wellness is. Some people take it as a bad thing, that you're nervous, you're shaky, but it means that your immune system is working, getting you ready for something. So if you get a diagnosis or someone you love is diagnosed with something sound bad, and you get that nervousness or your heart beating and you get sweaty, be happy about it. Look at it the positive way. Your system is getting ready to fight that. And this kind of gathering here should assure us that we're not alone. Everybody's going to join us on the fight. Yeah? The reality is cancer and any other conditions are part of us. They're not going away. But as long as we understand all of it, we support each other, that mental wellness will keep us moving forward. I don't have any more to say. I just thank you all for having us and allowing us to have a short time to talk about mental wellness. Komuldada.
Meriati Puru to please come up and share a little about her journey of strength as a cancer survivor. May we give her a round of applause.
Yahweh everyone. Come on. Chadini nignan modan kamolo liroid kanor imag moran all of you. Chadini raini. Chalop perveno dan takado yopa. Ngitin nervo jaga it's good for our mental health. And I'm so nervous. I've never been standing in front of everybody. So ngayon kajing mayaw ba. Ikap dan baju puncak to jangan chadini na ikanan kamolo lirikoro. Nubuing matay tadarar coordinate bangang speech for tonight to share my story of my journey through my treatment when 10 years ago. I was diagnosed in 2010. Okay, Cholo per iro 2010 yar yang jaga yar warchuan. Epo jilo ipai yar lagi examine yang akan ngai tudu. Inam yar kanan share ikan takro rola agak pedalom. Rakamani cete itu inam rarwa kan gay calo kencar balok pajanen rakanan bangen. On malo kotong tangan Hawaii impak kamani cete itu. So yar tangan Hawaii yang parpon malo kotong kamani second cete ko Hawaii imralo kay. Urgent mass in regular surgery in namwamay na chemo yung human chino aldan yar to aja ngana karkamani treatment pada ajari ron niyu arigo niyu rigdada kar chongolani ya ayunan kamolo yoro ni mangtada karejara yung Majuro ni yung pamalewa chumor karado pun love and support ilo yun yung ngay perang sino kamanita ka daw po immigrant share by nangan namijin cancer yun kay ngandro me rechangan ga perido wire kagalgal no wire choy im kamani exam ko ar ilo chuniya and all that kagalgal all bien you sige ba rin kajar bali mo ko ar makamagay chow pachoray inamito ka trial inal yado pun cara mana bayar magay pasti tu bilo cente wanangan camala binagar kamani chemo treatment ya mga inang yalo pagin kay negative borari dong nga ya kacemun di dong ani tiyo pamain marong bokasim ya tiyo chido a journal during this time pangain magay meditate
I'm stuck.
It's how we what we went through and how we felt when we were going through the chemotherapy. So, it's all about how bad feeling that we went through, but we survived. Thank you. Tomorrow kita penalaban cancer survivor role and Romera support, all the supporters, caretakers. One mantap George. Antipara. Kami redok. Tanga. Come forward, please.
Okay, let's do it one more
When you
time.
go through chemo, you forget everything. So please bear with us.
1, 2, 3, go. Bye.
Kaya ako na kumali.
announce those judges.
We have judge number 1, Yasta Man.
Show you we need a chair. We need 3 chairs so that we can see. So we can.
Sabi niya, where's my hat?
And the second judge, Miss Elizabeth, is.
Sabi niya, where's my hat?
Ako ang Miss Elizabeth judge. The next one we have Dr. Pablo Escobar. Pablo, come on. Most creative, most sexy.
Huh? What?
The traditional, most pink, and the most prettiest, handsomest there of all.
My goodness.
All right, are we ready? I want to hear you. Are you ready? I want to hear you. Are you ready? All right, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Shall we start? DJ,
We're not
let's hear some music. Okay, here's the last one. So make your impression. Make your impression.
Ring, smile, okay?
All right. Last round. Okay, see you can make some room. They are too sexy for their hats.
My goodness.
No.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling irate. How y'all doing? Respect to y'all, man. All right, how do we do this? You have to play that song. All right. The most creative. Give it up for number 16. Play the music, man. Play the music. Yeah. Come on, look at him, man. You deserve it. Number 16. creative. Yeah, most creative. Congratulations.
Most creative. Okay, so he wins an RV boat trip and one night at Enego. Couple more. Everybody's not single. Oh no, you better come
All
on
right.
looking sexy.
I'm too sexy for my hat. All right, the most sexy goes out to number 18. Make some noise. There you go. Bring it up. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, for the most traditional, there are two winners, and they are number 14 and 21.
All right, make some noise, yes.
14 and 21.
All right, I'd like to come on up, yes.
14 and 21, please come up. The category is traditional. Okay, bring up your numbers. Same time.
All right.
So there's been
14 and 21. Yes.
okay, number 14 got $75 for paying gas.
Congratulations!
The prettiest hat, the prettiest hat. No, Mr. Master. I'm not gonna fire me afterwards. You didn't get a category. I'm sorry. But there is one person in here that the most prettiest hat. So can we get a drum roll on the tables? Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It goes to number 20! Number 20! Prettiest hat, isn't that right? Let me hear it. From Target family.
TV and hit the notification button and hit the like button below. Subscribe to Rihanna Reigns TV.